Hey guys, a lot of effort goes into these coaching sessions and all the educational content I work on. So I just want to thank every single one of you for supporting me and making me kind of independent and being able to do what I like. There's also an uncut playlist of all the coachings that I'm doing, and I'm trying to keep it updated. Next on the menu will probably be the support guide. And just to give a special thank you to all of you guys who are really supporting me, every single pledge on Patreon of $50 and above will get coaching on the next month whenever they want, and they'll be added on my Discord and League friend list so they can contact me privately if they're struggling with anything particularly. Huge shout out to all you guys and enjoy the video. Okay, let's go. Soraka Philius versus Jhin vel'koz. Okay, aggro lane. Now, first question is, why did you go exhaust here? Okay, another thing. You're playing support. The left side is great. The right side, really bad. Okay, like this on support, very slow value, you know? Like even your thing is a mismatch. You're like, okay, we're playing Scorch, which is pre-10 minutes. So you're playing for first 10 minutes, but then you're like, okay, I'm gonna give value boost 12 minutes. You know, so like playing early, then mid game. Like usually when I focus up mostly on one side. So like the best you can do here is like cheap shot, relentless hunter, and then you just go aggro as fuck. And then like you even have a winning matchup. Like you definitely win this. And if you don't go exhaust, you can go either ignite or barrier. I suggest barrier still. So that'd be just way more optimized if you did that. Way more optimized. Then you just go pressure level 2, 3 and try to kill Soraka very early. Like she's running Soraka without barrier. She's ignite. That's cocky. Okay, we're about to see some Silver 4 gameplay. I'll try to focus on the basics, on the things you really need. And cheap shot is better than this because you want to get a kill. You don't need to help him this much. You should follow Jhin. Just faster, because you want to, the sooner you reach the lane, the more pressure you can exert. Like you want to zone this out. Their level 1's not that good. You can go behind it, you get behind the wave and Q him. Okay, this is all about like how you position pressure. This is good angle. Great. Now you just circle back and then this is fear factor. This is what people don't do. Like don't realize. Like you're doing so much stuff here without doing anything, honestly. You landed one Q. And you're taking the positioning like I do, and this is probably because you watch me, because this is not very intuitive for newer players. And you spread up way. Usually people stick together and they're like, oh, I'm safe near Jhin. This is way better. This creates the kill box, X. Like, you have two different angles, and they can't hit you. Also, the map curvature works with vel'koz Qs in this case. So if you shoot a Q, if you make them like perpendicular to you, so if you're here and they're here, that means not only do you shoot Q like this, but your Q split is like this. What that does is it covers their natural running away spot. So if you're standing to the side, either left or right, your Q will follow the map curvature. So even if you miss the initial Q, second Q will most likely hit. So it's just a really good angle. Plus you zone him off from the CS and you're controlling the brushes. There's so many different things going on here. And it's so passive and that people don't even realize it, but it creates pressure. So yeah, this is good. It's fine. Soraka is a bit annoying, much like Ezreal and other champs who can force you out of brushes like Maokai. That Q, it's like an early cast. You just want to shave the minions back, you know, with that Q. This is good. They ward bottom side, you split to left. Like you lost the footing on the left, on the right, you go left. You're still doing the same positioning trick, exactly. Like, this is so good. You basically got level 2 earlier. I mean, you were late, so you didn't level up. If you did, you could fight. That's the whole issue of running around. You ideally want to look to poke down Soraka, because you probably won't kill Aphelios here unless they make a big mistake. Level 3 you have potential. Now because you're pushing you can play off of the level up. So look also what you did. You made him use both words in the brushes. This is the fear factor. Also another indirect advantage which people don't realize. 2 wards here. That means 0 control in the river. That means your jungler can dive if they're low, can gank, sneak in, mid lane can roam. A lot of takes can happen down the line. You know? You're spamming too many Ws, you don't want to do that. You only use W if you hit a Q. Don't spam too many. Another low % chance hit Q, which is going to cost you to lose a lot of mana. You just like 2 downside as to why you shouldn't shoot Q all the time. First one is, if you spam it too much, like especially level 1 Q, is the damage factor you're going to do is worse than your mana, okay? It's not worth to invest all your mana if you're going to get them to like 40%. Because they're going to sustain and then you're useless without mana. Okay, so first of all, spam is not that good for that reason. So you generally shoot, like first 3 levels, you generally shoot only for mana flow band. Kind of like a rule. It's a nice rule of thumb. Second reason is, if you shoot Qs every time you have an awful cooldown, which is 7 seconds, right now, 6.5. So if you shoot him every 7 seconds, it becomes predictable. It becomes like a rhythm. You know? People are really good at picking up patterns. Like, human evolutionary biology has primed us for being perfect. Like, really good at recognizing patterns. That's like one of our biggest strengths. And we're really good at that. And we're going to do that unconsciously. Like, a bronze player will pick up your pattern. Even though he doesn't know he picked it up, he will pick it up. So if you shoot every 7 seconds, you become very predictable. And a bronze player will predict you in UQ. Even though he probably doesn't know he's doing it. But yeah, you wanna throw in a curveball. Like, fake him. Go forward, don't shoot Q. Go back. Go forward, don't shoot Q. And then shoot the Q. And then instead of 7 seconds, you wait like 9, 10. You gotta hit him on the offbeat, you know? I think that's a very good point that a lot of people don't realize. But if you put this like consciously and think about it, it's actually really good. That's a nice backwards Q combo, but you didn't have W because you spam him a lot, and again, now you're out of mana. This lane is like a... You had a winning lane, now it's a losing lane. All of a sudden. Just because you ran out of mana, this is a losing lane now. You don't win trades. So you should probably reset. So you want to find a reset point. This is a losing lane now. You were hard winning. Like, when you find yourself in a weak spot like this, you have less health, you have less mana, okay? This is like a classic weak spot, and you can simplify the game into just having like equal strong spots, weak spots, to remove all the rest of the data you don't need to pay attention to early, like while you're learning the game and getting like through silver, gold. You don't really need to focus on that too much. So you're just like, okay, I feel weak, and later on you're gonna be like, you're gonna be evolved so much that you can predict in how many waves you're gonna be weak. You will be like, oh, in 2 waves I'm gonna be losing. But now I'm equal. And then you're going to look for a reset before that happens. But now in this elo, it's totally fine just knowing you recognize it. Like, okay, we're losing. We have a reset. So you can just look for a reset. That's it. It's very simple. And vice versa. Like, okay. Like, the only issue is the wave, but they're not going to freeze in this elo. But this is a bad idea. Like, leaving a wave like this. That's going to punish you. So you're going to be down in experience. Yeah, in vice versa case, if you're ahead, you look to interrupt the recall and make him stay. You want to focus them to stay. Same as they should have interrupted you. They should have interrupted your recall, made you stay to make you suffer. And this guy should have frozen, but he's too stupid for that, so. But yeah, like, that's just a bad wave to do it like that. You either have to leave it on a slow push towards you, or you have to leave it on a hard force where it's gonna bounce. You can freeze this. Again, this is like a mirror situation. He has to recall because he's in a weak state now. He missed one recall. He's an item down, so I cannot here. Okay? So what he has to do, he has to recall. But you guys can threaten a freeze, which means he has to come and break it or lose the minions. And either one is winning for you because you want to fight him. So yeah, now you just tank the wave and move to a brush and tank, like, make him stay. So now you guys are in an advantageous position. So you were behind, now we're ahead. Because Jin has Executioner already, like, fucking Silver 4 buys that, but my Master Grandmaster teammates can't. But I digress. Okay, so now you guys are majorly ahead here. Like, this is a massive advantage. You have 800 efficient gold ahead here. And you and Soraka are kind of equal. Maybe you're slightly behind. So yeah, now you have like 800 gold advantage. Without lifting a finger. Okay, you guys were kind of equal. But now you're 800 ahead. 800 is 2 kills. Okay, that's 2 kill differential just because he missed a recall. And that's why competitive is all about recalls. It's like preparing chess scenarios and just like squeezing water from stone in like a minor advantage. Like, that's how pros will play. And in solo queue, people like don't put too much attention on that. And if you do, you have huge advantage. So you know you're ahead now and you kind of want to force. Because 800 is a lot. Like, that's a lot. So now you want to fight. Let's go. Brute force. Brute force. Go harder. That's not deep enough. You're throwing again. Like, you're wildly flaying abilities. Like, you threw Q, missed. W, missed. E, missed. vel'koz abilities on their face value are terrible. He has one of the worst abilities on their face value. And that's why I primarily picked him up. Because people didn't realize how much he can be good in, like, chaining combos, you know? Like, it's... Like, your abilities are exponentially more powerful in quick succession if you use them. Like, it works with the passive, it works with the ult, it works with the enhancing your chance of landing abilities by landing the previous ones, setup abilities, or even zoning them into your abilities by previous abilities. So you can use, if you just waited a little bit, moved a bit further, shot Q. Q either lands or misses, you win. Because if it lands, they're slowed, you can't miss EW. If you miss, you use that as a zoning to hit the EW. Okay, use that as zoning. And or you could just wait for Jin W, land Q, wait for his W, then combo. Either way works, man, but flailing about and just throwing Q, W, like one by one is not good. You should try to like restrain yourself from doing that. It's a very good like thing to learn. That discipline, trust me. This needs to be a really good bait. You have to put yourself in a terrible position away from Jin. You shot E a bit too early, but the bait works, I would say. And that's really good. Rengar didn't go for a bind. He trolled. If he binded, it'll be a kill. Now it's 2 flashes, but that's pretty worked. You can get a kill level 6. You only overstay 1 wave if you really want an item, but here you don't really need anything special. Well, maybe Jin does. And he delayed him a bit, Rengar, so it's not horrible, I guess. Yeah, go back. Pointless auto attacks. Okay. I kind of wish he didn't heal you. That'd be way better. Yeah, this is a mistake. This is a mistake right here. He shouldn't have healed you, honestly. Like, you just get a free recall. Doesn't matter. They don't get money. They don't get anything. They're not even near enough to absorb the experience from your death. So, yeah, he shouldn't have healed you, and this is just weird. Like, you're overstaying. This overstay is gonna do the same exact mistake they made. Because I talked about earlier how you were 800 gold ahead. Now you're ahead, but you're gonna be behind if you overstay. If you miss a recall, you're gonna be behind. Because Aphelios just invested like into this thingy. He bought Noon Quiver, which is pretty expensive, and trumps obviously Executioner. Vandal Glass Mirror trumps this bullshit. You guys are sitting on 1.7 thousand, almost 8. But you can't use it unless you recall. Why is the wave in this position, chat? Why is the wave in this position? Can anyone tell me? Why is the wave like this and not equal? Because you guys shoved it in. What happens when you shove it in is the enemy wave stacks under third, clumps, your wave dies under third, especially if another one gets in. And then naturally it's just going to push because it's closer to their side, which means their minions arrive faster. They're also clumped and you have third to push it. And now what happens is they get behind in experience and CS, and this is a dangerous position like that, like this. So if Rengar wants, let's say, if he's not doing this, he can gank immediately on bombs because they have to shove it out, otherwise you freeze. So it's like a lot of things is going on, but whatever. I'm just going over about a bunch of things. Now it's a losing scenario because he took a semi-trade. Ideally, as I said, you want to wait for 6 and then all in. But that was like a semi-fight, not an all-in, which is pretty bad for you because they have stain, you don't, so you eventually lose. So now it's a losing scenario unless they make a mistake, so you want to play safe. Okay, see, like, there's no reason to drop E on that turret, you know? You just put yourself, like, again, E has some different implications when you use it too much, apart from Q. Like, it's slightly different. When you spam E, not only are you making your combo like dry, but your QW you can't do too much, you're not that powerful. Secondly, it's your only defensive ability. So what that does is generally if you use E a lot, you become vulnerable a lot. Every time you drop E, there's 15 seconds of you, like, potential of them jumping you and dying. Okay? Like, let's say, this is a very good thing you learn when you play mid lane. But it's also applicable in sports. So let's say you're playing mid lane versus Lucian. You throw E on the wave. What happens? What happens then? Lucian immediately dashes behind the wave. Doesn't matter. He's gonna tank 4 minions. Who cares? He shreds you. He fucks you up. Okay? So that E is your safety ticket, okay? Lucian dashes, you're like, okay, I got E. You show me that card and you're like, okay, I'm safe, you know? But if you don't have E, he will just dash at you over and over and over again. So that's why you don't throw E randomly. It's a huge issue. That Jin ulted before you had your ult, but they kind of split. He almost had a chance to kill her. It's alright. Yeah, ideally Jin should wait for your 6 and get it. If you didn't do that rotation level 1, actually, if you came to lane this way, you would be 6 here. Butterfly effect. The exhaust, as you can tell, as I criticized it on like at the level 1 when you picked it up, you haven't used it. Like, it's such a bad thing, you know. By having Barrier, you can play more aggressive and then you can bait them onto you, you know? The whole purpose of barriers is to play more aggressive, more free. If they go aggressive onto you, like, you absorb a lot more damage, and you allow your AD carry to punish. He's gonna go for Q again. Okay, he gets the kill though. Like that you're following Rengar here. Always follow a strong character who's a jumper. You try to follow him up. You set up stuff like that. This is great. You should probably recall here. 700 gold. There's not much to be done. This will be shoved in by Jhin. You just dump your combo on this and recall. That's it. Here following Jhin would be like, because you guys are offset. Jhin recalled himself earlier. Now he came back with the new items. You didn't. Okay? So you're one recall down. If you think about it, everyone has 2 recalls except you. Okay? Even them that they're losing and they back now, they have 2 recalls. You have 1. So you're essentially down. You have 800 gold not used. So that's a little bit sad. And Soraka is now stronger than you, even though she died. Okay, and then she's weaker. But she's technically stronger now. Unless you complete the recall. I like that you have that inner sense when to recall. Here. It's not like a predictionary one where you consciously do it, but you have a feeling, a tingling sensation that you want to recall. And that's good. That's good. You're a natural. You're going Land Race, which is good adaptation if you want to get healing reduction. Because then you get Oblivion Orb and then you shred all their healing. Exactly, good choice. I would have probably done the same. You immediately go top lane, which is pretty solid. Who knows how this will like pan out, honestly. You may be able to help this guy, maybe not. But what can you do? You can wait for him to bait and then you combo. Wait. Combo. Ah, that's not a combo. That's sad. You should have crushed that. Yeah, that was a double kill. They're all gonna live. Yep, that was your fault, 100%. You were hesitant on what you wanted to do. You only did R instead, where the entire combo could have reached. Like your E can hit here, if you're here, and there should have been EWQR like immediately. Like just fucking mash the keyboard. That's hard winning. That's a double kill. Yeah, that was on you. The rotation was good. The execution was poor. So I like that the idea is there. It's just about execution. Okay, nice. That's a good combo. She dies. Beautiful. Maybe a root. Close. So that's alright. Good hit. Nice. You actually set a kill up. That kill would never happen without a Q. Good job. Okay, you finish boots. I probably wouldn't do that, honestly. You're a support, okay? You're living on social security. You're living on welfare. You're an invalid getting like $50 paycheck every month, and you're supposed to make a living with that when they make insulin cost like $400, okay? Like you're struggling here. You're in a very bad situation. The housing is expensive. The market is booming. Like it's all fucked. You know, the economy is not working in your favor, and you're support on welfare. So you don't really buy these items. You want to buy over the worst one. Landry's is extremely expensive, and you want to get it as soon as possible to get rid of it. Okay, so you don't really compile these boots for 800. You could have just waited like 200 more, and then you get Landry's, then you just go more. Because Mythic is like the biggest spike you can get. If you really wanted to buy something for that 800 to maintain the gold efficiency, you could have just sold refillable bought Oblivion Orb. That's it. Like Oblivion Orb would have been way better than boots here. The worst two are the Mercs and Tabais. Again, you go for a panic combo. If you just came into Q, contact, and EW, she would have lived. Because, okay, let me show you. It might be a bit too much theoretical, so let me show you exactly how that would work. Okay, look at this scenario. So you're going in. You wanna use Q first, okay? If you use E, okay, yeah, Berserkers are worst. Whatever. Actually, Berserkers are broken. Shut up, chat. You don't know vel'koz. So ideally you shoot the Q first. Why I say that if you go like this, will my Q reach? Well, you have this movement speed, and he's chasing. So you'll basically hit him with the Q and then combo. What happens is if you throw E first, like this, he can turn back and lives. So you have to land Q to ensure he can't get away. So that's the priority number 1, that he can't get away, and the priority number 2 is save her. And that's EW. And ult is just like, okay, I'll do a bunch of damage from long range and that's it. Which is totally unnecessary, because look at this. This is where you just Q from here. he gets slowed. EW unmissable, and then ult if necessary. You probably wouldn't even need it, but what you're doing with R is permitting him to chase. And if she backs off, if she uses E to survive, you don't actually kill. He turns back, he lives. That's the sad part, you know, that's why you get Q. That's why you initiate that with Q. The recall is good. There's nothing worse when I see people who go make this rotation from bot lane to top lane, and then they walk to bot lane. I just want to like call their parents, you know? It's so weird. When you do that type of rotation, you recall, go back to lane. Like, not only are you gonna arrive at the same exact fucking time like you did like that, but now you get the purchase. Which for you is a bit of a downside because you purchased a very shit item. You don't want to buy corrupting this late. Like, in fact, you want to sell refillable. There's multiple reasons. Low efficiency of the item. You don't really trade. You have movement speed. You recall fast. You're going to recall a lot because you want to replenish the wards as a support, so you don't really care if you get poked out a bit. That's like only 10 reasons. And then there's another one which is cluttering your inventory. You always want to have slots because you buy a bunch of cheap items and you buy a lot of pinks and you have to have your support item. And you're cluttering your inventory for no reason, so this is just a bad purchase. Okay, you still don't have Mythic. You could have had Mythic now if you waited with the thingy. I would choose having Landry's here over Sork shoes like every fucking day of the week. Having Landry's is way better than having completed boots right now. You fight. You lose the dragon, but you fight. You gotta cut him off. Okay. Sure. I see. He has done it. Oh, perfect. Ideally, like, this is like the perfect scenario. You generally just want to like cut your losses, even if they get Cloud. Who the fuck cares? You cut him off, you kill, you get 2-3 kills, and you win the game because you knock off 2 turrets, and you immediately get over 3,000 gold like shifted to your side, which is like game over. That's perfect. You have really good game sense. Not gonna lie. That's a good... See, this is better decision making. This is way better decision making. Because you're calculating odds. Okay, if I go close and shoot Q, I can kill him, but my guy dies 100%. If I long range ult, he's gonna die 100%, but my guy has a chance to live. It's very good weighing of decisions. And that's a good choice. Generally, you don't want to be as a support too much in a solo lane. Because what happens inadvertently is like, sure, you're farming, and it's not bad to farm as a support that much. The issue is you're off the map. If you're in lane, that means everyone can see you. And that means you're not on the map. So what happens then is you lose map presence. You lose map control. You're not placing wards. You're not invisible. Being invisible is a good thing. Why the fuck do you think Guy Evelyn is so broken in solo queue? Invisibility is being broken, okay? And it's very powerful in solo queue. So you don't want to be visible at all times, especially as a guy who's dislodged and can make ganks as a support. So if they can't see you, they can't account for you. That means they can't make really aggressive plays, or if they do, they have a chance of getting punished. But if they see you in lane farming for a while, it's not a good thing. Just one good thing to remember for you. Okay, so here's one good rule. What do you get when you kill someone? Kills are not good. Kills alone are not that great. Okay, that's what people don't know. It's about the map. It's about getting something behind the kill, some objective, denying them control, vision, CS experience, all of that. So what happens now is you just shove this in. I think it's too early to try and rush the Baron, and your teammates went the opposite side. If you did, you could have done it, but whatever. You don't need to throw the game and risk it. What you can do is shove this, place a ward here, boom, one ward here. And when you back off, you don't back off the same way. You back off on time, but through their jungle. That's exactly how it goes. Like, if you get a kill and you can't get anything, you sweep through the mid, you clear everything, and then you go back through the jungle, clearing everything again. So what happens is, not only will you get this, will you get good vision here, will you clear this, place your ward there, you will kill this and this, your team, okay? So that's 200 gold again, shifted. 200 gold shifted from their pockets to yours, which is 400 gold differential in total of the game. Plus you get better vision, which means you have knowledge, and how much that knowledge is worth, we don't know until like something proactive happens from it, that stems from it, but whatever. We're waiting for these guys. The cannons are just tearing it to shreds. Boom, boom. Good double Q hit. She dies, no flash. Look at the healing. Do you see her ult? That's Morello. She was below, what, 50-40%? And the heal reduction gets higher. Do you see her ult heal? That's nothing. Look at her ultimate here. That's nothing. It's gone. You negated her entire champion with that. Okay. Sheesh, GG well played. Good ult. Easy. So what? 3-1, 14, 77 vision score. Like way better than Silver 4, trust me. There's a lot of things that I mentioned during the game. There's a lot of optimizations here and there, but yeah, there's so much to unpack, so. This will be up on the YouTube channel and will be up on my Twitch for like the next 2 months. So you can always rewatch it if you want to like see something again, but yeah. We went all over a lot of details. I'll never buy Corrupting again. You shouldn't, honestly. Like, that item is ass. Even on mid lane doesn't have that much value, and on support is just like a no-no forever. It helped. Hope it helped in any capacity.